Welcome to another session in this course. In this particular session, we are going to be looking at subquery. Subquery is considered as an intermediate to advanced levels of SQL proficiency. I am going to be teaching you how you can write a subquery. I will teach you how you can put subquery in different components of your query. I will also be showing you the advantages of subquery. In fact, there are so many tasks you cannot perform or so many queries you won't be able to write successfully if you do not apply the principle of subquery. I will also be showing you how you can actually combine some of the clauses such as the limit clause, the order by clause, and the group by clause with a query that contains a subquery. This is actually a lot, but let us get at it. The task we have before us now is that we want to write a query that will show the records in the orders table where the order value is above the average order value. For example, if I run this particular query here that says select customer ID and the order value from the orders table. If I run it, you can see that what we are having here is everything in the orders table. But what we want is a record where the order value here is actually above the average order value. If you look at this second query here, you will see that this query is going to return the average of the order values in our record. Let me run it and you can see. So our average order value is 102.16. The easier way to do that is that we can just say, okay, let us put a where clause and say where order value is greater than 102.16, and then we take this from, I will put the from here. We have select customer ID order value from orders table where order value is greater than 102.16. If I run this, you will see that our records here are actually above 102. If we look at this and we scroll down, they are above 102. Then we get our record. But there is a problem. The problem is that if we update the orders table and add new records to it, which is what is common in the real world scenario, the average order value is going to change. And that means that we will need to write the query all over again. However, if we want a situation whereby whether the table is updated or not, each time we run the query, the average value is going to update itself. And that is where subquery comes in. Instead of putting an absolute value here, what we are going to do is that we are going to write a syntax for the average value itself, and this is the syntax, which is select average order value from orders. We are going to be making this particular query, we are going to make it a subquery. And to do that, we put a bracket here. Put a bracket so we can make it shorter, and we close the parentheses. By doing this, what we are saying is that SQL should run the query inside the bracket first. When it does that, it is going to retain the value there, and then it will run the one outside it. At this point, no matter the number of times that we update our table, the number of times we put record, the average order value is going to update itself. If we run this query now, we are going to get the same outcome that we got in the past. That is where the subquery comes in. Subquery is basically the act of writing a query inside a query in order to make our query to run dynamically. This is a first scenario, and in this scenario, we put our subquery under the where clause. Now, let us go to another scenario. In this particular scenario, if you look at this particular query here, you will see that this query is used to extract 4 columns: the customer ID, customer name, order value, and the credit card type from 3 different tables. The orders table here, the credit card table here, and the customer table here. All of them queried out of 3 different tables. However, we want to go further, and what we want to do is that we want to know the top 20 customers based on the total amount of order value that they made for the year, which means that we are going to be making the whole of this a subquery. Let us start. We write select customer name. We are going to also select the sum of order value, and then we make it as total order, and then from what? From this particular table here, that is this subquery, because this subquery is a table on its own, like a virtual table. We are going to be selecting all of these from this particular query here, and we make it a subquery. Then we open a parenthesis, and then we close the parenthesis. When you are selecting from a query or a subquery like this, you have to put an alien. This time, I will call it combined. So when you put it behind anything you like, you can name it, but you must name it like this. We are going to group by. We are grouping by the customer name, and then we have our query. Now, for us to know the top 20, we will have to order it. We will order by total order, and then we limit it to 20. Let us go through it again. Select the customer name, the sum of order value as total order from what? Our subquery here. And we put the aliens as combined. And then we say group by the customer name, order by the total order here, and let it be limited to the top 20. Since we want to know the top, then it should be ordered by descending. By this, if we run our query now, you will see that our outputs are in descending order, and it is the top 20. By doing this, we have been able to use a very big and complex syntax like this as our subquery. These are the 2 scenarios that we are going to be considering. As we continue in this course, you will still see how we can put our subqueries in other aspects of our query. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification icon, and also like our videos. Until we meet in the next one.